Hey everyone, hello. So, what if the most important knowledge you could ever gain wasn't something you could read in a book, memorize in school, or download from the internet? What if true knowledge was something that you remembered? Well, today we're diving into gnosis, a word that has echoed through ancient mystery schools, early Christianity, modern neuroscience, and even today's tech culture. Gnosis isn't just knowledge, it's knowing in the deepest possible sense. The word gnosis comes from Greek meaning knowledge, but not ordinary factual knowledge. This is not memorized data or secondhand belief or intellectual theory. Gnosis is direct, experiential knowledge. It's the difference between reading about fire and touching the flame and feeling the heat. In spiritual and philosophical traditions, gnosis refers to an intuitive, inner realization of truth about reality, about existence, and ultimately about who you really are. In Gnosticism, an ancient spiritual movement that flourished in the first few centuries CE, gnosis was everything. Gnostics believed that the true divine source is infinite, eternal, and pure consciousness. The material world is flawed, dense, and deceptive. Human beings contain a divine spark, a fragment of that higher reality trapped in matter. This divine spark is not created by the material world, it comes from beyond it. To Gnostics, the physical world was often described as an illusion, a prison, a false reality. Not necessarily evil, but misleading. The senses distract, social systems enslave, and false identities keep the soul asleep. And the greatest danger? Forgetting who you truly are. Here's where Gnosticism radically departs from mainstream religion. Salvation does not come from blind faith, obedience, rituals alone, or external authority. Salvation comes through gnosis, through inner awakening, direct insight, and remembrance of one's true divine origin. When gnosis occurs, the soul realizes, I am not this body. I am not this role. I am not this world. I come from something greater. And with that realization comes liberation. Many Gnostic texts describe gnosis not as learning something new, but remembering something ancient, a sudden clarity, a shock of recognition, a feeling of, I've always known this. It's the moment that the veil lifts, the illusion breaks, and the soul begins its return to its source. Interestingly, the word gnosis also appears in modern neuroscience, but with a very different yet symbolic connected meaning. In neurology, gnosis refers to the brain's ability to recognize and interpret sensory information. And there are different types of neurological gnosis. There's visual gnosis, the ability to recognize objects, colors, shapes, and faces by sight. There's auditory gnosis, the ability to recognize sounds, voices, music, and environmental noise. And there's tactile gnosis, the ability to identify objects or textures through touch alone without seeing them. And then there's body schema, the brain's internal map of the body, knowing where your limbs are in space without looking. When these systems fail, conditions like agnosis occur, where perception exists but recognition does not. You may see an object but not know what it is. Sound familiar? Here's the striking parallel. In neurology, gnosis allows us to recognize reality. In spirituality, gnosis allows us to recognize truth. Without gnosis, the eyes see, but they do not understand. The mind thinks, but it does not awaken, and the soul exists, but it remains asleep. With gnosis, perception becomes meaning, experience becomes wisdom, and existence becomes purposeful. Today, gnosis has expanded beyond ancient texts. In modern spirituality, gnosis often refers to inner knowing, awakened awareness, and intuitive truth beyond logic. It's found in mysticism, esoteric traditions, meditation practices, psychedelic research, and non-dual philosophies. It's the realization that truth is lived, not believed. And the word gnosis has also been adopted by tech companies, genetic platforms, and financial and blockchain systems. Why? Well, because the word symbolizes deep insight, hidden knowledge, advanced intelligence, and access to underlying systems. Even in a technological age, we still crave gnosis. In a world overflowing with information, we suffer from a lack of understanding. We know more than ever, yet feel more disconnected. Gnosis reminds us that truth isn't always external, wisdom isn't always taught, and knowledge can be remembered. It asks the most dangerous question of all. What if you are more than what you are being told? Gnosis isn't about escaping the world, it's about seeing through it. It's the knowledge that doesn't sit in the mind but ignites the soul. And once it's known, it can never truly be forgotten. So yeah, that's today's video on gnosis. As always, I hope you found it entertaining, enlightening, or in some way beneficial. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share the video with a friend or two. All right, everyone, take care. Peace.